Hello YouTube, this is Latte Punch. Today I'm doing another Let's Read of a story by Amareep called Spike's Egg Hunt. This is a random crossover human story, although there's not really humans in it. It's about Spike who meets up with Spyro the Dragon, who's looking for an egg thief. What they don't know is that the thief is actually a familiar face to the Sonic Team family, and the fact that the egg is truly out of this world. Chapter 1, Egg Hunt. Sorry. Today in Ponyville, Spike was walking down the street lost in thought. Today he was given a special something that he usually never got from Twilight, a day off. Twilight got an old book a few days ago that was unreadable. It was in a dead language that no one used anymore, and she's planning to spend all day figuring out what the book says, which gives Spike the free day off. Even though he was given this rare opportunity, he didn't know exactly what to do. Maybe I could go see Pinkie Pie, he wondered. But trying to find her would be like looking for a mouse at home. There one minute and gone the next. Maybe those three girls with that clubhouse of theirs. Nah, all they want to do is crazy stuff. I'll admit though they're not that different from Pinkie. Wish that there was another guy to hang out with. Spike stopped and started to think of something else. Maybe I could hang out with Rarity. He started to blush at the thought. Spike then started to panic as he realized, what would we do? She's not the type that would play games. She would think that's childish. I know, we could play soccer. That's more of a sport than a game. And I'm sure she would look good in a soccer uniform. No, she wouldn't want to play soccer. Maybe. Spike was waffling in thought, not even noticing what was happening around him. Every pony was running away in fear at something that entered the town. It was a dragon. The dragon looked like it was in its teens as it ran through the village on all fours. It had purple scales on its body and yellow-orange belly, wings, and horns on it as well. It wasn't attacking any pony, but it looked like it was searching for something, as it looked in all the alleyways, trash cans, and stalls. Okay, so mud wall won't work. I guess we could talk. I wouldn't know really what to say, but I could look at Rarity as she talks. I could see her gorgeous fur, look into those beautiful eyes, see her tender lips, while I could even... Excuse me. Spike was broken out of his dream date, by a dragon getting his attention. Spike looked at it startled, not just because it was another dragon, but by his sudden bubble burst of his daydream. And, yes? Have you seen a creature running around here with a blue robe on? The teenage dragon said, looking around Spike. No, can't say I have. Is he a friend of yours? Hardly, the teen dragon replied, putting enough emphasis on it that you could see smoke form in his mouth. He stole a dragon egg. This statement hit strong at Spike. He was a lost egg at one time, and hearing that this only concerned him to make sure that it won't happen to this egg either. Let me help. Thanks. Let's split up to find him. My name's Spyro, the dragon said before he took off. And mine's Spike, the little dragon yelled out before Spyro was out of range. So much for a date. A talk with Rarity. He corrected himself before searching. Now where would a thief be if he was hiding from a dragon? Spike searched the best places he could think of. Bushes, trees, he even checked underneath the bridges, but found no pony. Where could he be? Come on, think, Spike. I'm sorry. Sorry about that, was me. Come on, think, Spike. Where wouldn't he expect to be found by a dragon? Spike rubbing the temple of his forehead when a few ponies ran past him in terror. There's a dragon in the village. Spike looked at the screaming pony. You would think she was the thief, knowing that she was running away from Spyro as well. Wait, that would be the best place to hide. Spike quickly searched the biggest crowd he could find and entered into the gathering. The thief would hid in the crowd. If Spyro searched for him, he or every pony would run away, including the thief. All he has to do is blend in with the crowd. It didn't take long for Spike to find the culprit by asking the ponies around him. The culprit truly was a creature, not a pony, at least. It was covered in blue cloth, leaving only its eyes visible, and putting its front hooves on a decent-sized egg that was the size of a pony. The thief doesn't seem to have much concern about Spike, as he looks around over the crowd, probably looking for Spyro. Spyro was around. Spike now has the thief in his sights, unaware of his intentions. With slow movement and quick thinking, he was about, "Hey you! Give back that egg!" He was able to make his presence known as loud as possible to the criminal. The thief, now panicking, started to roll the egg forward, following right behind it to guide its way. The ponies in front of the egg were pushed aside as it rolled. They responded in appropriate actions by calling him a jerk or to watch it. Spike rushed out of the escaping thief, determined to stop him. The dragon was quite close to the egg snatcher, but once the crowd was clear, he was losing distance to the egg roller. Luck would have it that Spyro saw the two running and quickly joined in. Taking notice at the new approaching dragon, the dragon napper made a sharp turn to avoid collision, but not the other collision with the fruit stand. The crook crashed into the stand, splattering the variety of juicy sweets it held with the still rolling egg. Spyro ran behind Spike and flipped him onto his back as he continued on the chase. Spike was now riding on Spyro's back, just like he would with Twilight. It was weird at first, riding on the back of a fellow dragon, but Spyro was much faster at keeping a constant pace than the thief. The crook continued to roll the egg, and seemed to purposely crash into various fruit stands. I hope the egg can stand that damage. Spike worried, glancing at the huge egg. Hey, wasn't that egg smaller? The egg was being rolled by a creature half its size, wearing a blue rip. The egg-stealing creature was revealed as the blue cloth was snagged onto one of the broken stand pieces and ripped off. The creature wasn't a pony, nor another dragon, but seemed like a pony-sized chicken. Spike didn't see any feathers on it, but it seemed to be wearing a claw. Still, it's hard to tell what it is from only seeing the back of the crook. The chase went on and out of town, the two dragons getting even closer. Spyro had enough of this little run. "Spike, grab my horns," he commanded, tilting his head back. Spike had a feeling where this was going, and he didn't like the idea, but for safety of the egg, he put his fears aside and lashed his claws into the horns of Spyro's head. When latched on, Spyro whipped his head and launched Spike at the robber. Spike landed only to latch on the leg of the crook, tripping him into the grass. The egg rolled forward, about 7 yards away in the grassy plain. Spyro ran up to the brave little dragon and congratulated him for his work. Spyro was now glaring at the scoundrel that was giving back an irritated face. Spike studied his prisoner, finally identifying him. Sorta. He was foreign to Spike, wearing clothing all over his body. He had on a white shirt with a red scarf tied around his neck. He wore blue jeans, shoes, and gloves. Gloves were covering his hooves. No, his claws. No, I don't know how you would describe the strange palm that had 5 similar appendages on it. Anyway, his last apparel was a white cap that had what could be defined as a rooster's comb on the top of his head. Now the physical creature he had only made Spike think of a furless mammal. The only fur it had on was a streak of blonde above each eye, most likely on his eyebrows, and a big blonde clump on the peak of his pecked out of his cap. Spyro wasn't fazed by the bizarre creature, but he was threatening it as he putting pressure onto his back with his claws. All right, where did you steal that egg? Spyro demanded. I didn't steal it, I found it, barked back the creature. Where? What's it to you? I need it to take back to dragon. I need to take it back to the dragon that lost it. Then we'll try to struggle out. I won't let you harm the chicken. There's a dragon inside it, not a chicken. Spyro corrected him. No, it's a chicken. I know a dragon egg when I see one. That's a dragon egg. Spike didn't know who to agree with. He had studied eggs before in hopes to find his origin, and had never come across this egg before. It was a black egg that had warm red colored spots over it in various places. It's hard to believe that a chicken would hatch out of that giant egg. The baby dragon would never be able to be as big as a full-grown tree. If only we could find out what's inside, Spike spoke aloud. I can find out. I'll hatch it, the pinned mammal suggested. I won't let you harm the dragon inside, Spyro declined. It's a chicken, and I won't hurt it. I'm only going to call it out. Spyro was hesitant at letting the creature go, but looking at the giant egg and thinking before carrying it around him all day would be a real pain if it was not for nothing. Slowly Spyro lifted his claw off the mammal. No funny business. Got it, bird brain? A nod from the volunteer as he replied, "'Kay, and my name is Billy." Billy got up and walked over to the egg, leading the two dragons. When they were close enough, Billy took his not this again. I can handle it. A handle at defying the appendage, and cupped them around his mouth before taking a large breath. Cackaloo, cackaloo. I can pronounce it myself. Cackaloo. Billy yelled at the egg. Somewhere in Ponyville, Scootaloo suddenly felt as though someone had just asked her out on a date. She blushed as she looked around, but sadly couldn't find the source. The egg started to crack open, revealing the newborn inside. Spike scanned from the bottom up at the hatchling. It was a dragon, telling by the red scales and creamy yellow-colored underbelly. Going up, it had leaves of red round the rim, entering into a bright yellow. Wait, leaves? Spike took another look. It has leaves for arms. Spike continued looking up and saw its head, mouth. It didn't have eyes, only a large grin with sharp teeth like a piranha. To top it off, it looked like a flower with petals around the mouth of the beast. It's like a fiery dino piranha plant, Spike yelled, getting a roar off the creature. Fire formed round the monsters, following by charging at the three. The three boys rolled out the way and landed in the grass. The monsters extinguished the fire around it, glancing with what? Over to the town of Ponyville in the distance. Being a newborn, the curious hybrid started to waddle toward the town, dragging a big bulb at the tip of its tail. Spyro feared the safety of the village. A giant creature that uses fire is heading for the village. It would be no different from a grown dragon in town. Stop it! Spike pleaded. Billy took action and ran after it. Billy grabbed the round ball being dragged by the monster and pulled it as hard as he could, hoping to stop his pace. The monster slowed down its march as it dragged Billy. Spyro gritted his teeth on Billy's shirt and helped him pull at the monster, slowing it down further. Spike grabbed Spyro's tail and pulled to make the monster walk in place. The Plantosaurus dug its feet into the ground, continued its pace, and pulled the three. Billy lost his grip, having the ball slant to the back of the monster's head. A few of the petals fell from the plantzilla, turning a blazed around to see bullies that did this. With a war cry, the giant monster charged at the three, who were also giving their own war cry and running away, that is. Spiral lifted Spike on his back again and running alongside Billy. "What do we do now?" a worried Spike asked. "We heard it last time. Let's do it again," said Billy. "And you think will just let us grab its tail again?" "I think not," Spyro mocked back. "I'm just throwing ideas around," Billy retorted. A flame could be found burning into Spike's eyes when he said, "I got an idea." The dino flower was getting closer to the three as Spike laid forth a plan. Billy ran to the left while the two dragons took the right, running around the monster. The fire flower turned to see the three reform their team. Billy lifted up Spyro over his head and charged forward. He chucked Spyro at the monster, finishing up his part of the plan. Spyro hurled Spike by whipping his neck forward and tossing him with his horns once again. Spike curled up into a ball and slammed into the beast's face, crashing into the floor. The monster gives one more cry before it turns into a group of purple smoke dissipating into the wind. Turned into a group of purple smoke. Now I know you're making it up. No, it really happened. All three of us were surprised, too. Spike is now within the library, telling Twilight about his day, but she had a hard time believing it. Okay, if it were true, then what happened afterwards? We congratulated each other, and I tried to invite them around town, but they had to leave. Spike said that chasing Billy was sidetracking from his current goal. He never said what it was, though. As for Billy, he said he needed to go get some more emeralds of courage or something. I'm sorry, Spike, but that story seems too crazy to be real. A creature dressed like a chicken, a plant dragon hybrid that's not only had a mouth but could withstand fire, and how it disappeared afterwards, explained Twilight. I'm serious, Twilight. I helped save Ponyville from that plant monster. Didn't you hear the commotion about a dragon being in town? Twilight shook her head. Spike retaliated for a reason. I bet you were stuck again in another one of your books. Twilight blushed, putting a poof to her mouth, and looking away in embarrassment at the dead-on statement. Oh bother. Oh bother. I never heard her say that before. Spike wondered. Come again? Twilight looked at Spike and shook her head. Never mind. Say, why don't I make dinner tonight? She avoided the question with, I could really go for a dish that has honey with it. She left the room before Spike could respond back. Spike gave a frustrated groan. Well, at least I got something for my hard work, he said, looking at the yellow star in his claws, which was staring right back at him. And the end. Okay, so that was Spike's Egg Hunt, again by Emery, and I will leave a link into the description. Sorry for my hiccups here and there in this story. I thought it was kind of a fun story, an interesting little crossover. And I hope you guys like it too. Subscribe if you want to read any other stories by Emery.